19-year-old Bryce Laspisa sits alone in his car, on the side of a California highway, engine off, phone in his hand, for almost 20 hours. He barely moves. He stares ahead, at nothing, not asleep, not leaving. Truckers pass him by. Families drive past. No one knows that this red-haired art student, frozen in place near a town called Buttonwillow, is about to completely vanish from the world, and no one knows why. Just days earlier, Bryce's life looked normal, at least on the surface. He was a college sophomore studying graphic design at Sierra College, new apartment, close friends, and a serious girlfriend named Kim. He was known as the funny guy, creative, the kind of kid who instantly lit up a room. His parents, Karen and Michael, were incredibly proud. They had just moved to Southern California, specifically to be closer to him, to support his future. But as the fall semester began in August 2013, something in Bryce shifted. Friends saw it first. He was staying up all night, drinking heavily, taking ADHD medication, Vivance, even though it wasn't prescribed to him. His behavior turned erratic. He became distant, cold, quiet. Then came the giveaways. He gave his roommate his video game console, his prized Xbox. He started handing out personal belongings that meant something to him. To a lot of people, that might seem like a generous act. But to anyone who studies psychology, it is a massive red flag. People preparing to disappear sometimes start letting go of the things that define them. Then, there were the messages. Bryce texted his girlfriend that she would be better off without him. No explanation, no fight, just pure detachment. Kim was deeply alarmed. She took his car keys one night, deeply worried about his fragile state of mind. Bryce immediately called his parents. He sounded off, upset. He wanted his keys back. Karen spoke to Kim on the phone. Kim told her the truth. She was worried about Bryce's drinking, about his mental health, about what he might do to himself. Karen then spoke to her son. Bryce insisted he was perfectly fine. He persuaded his mom that everything was okay. Kim, trusting his parents would handle it, finally handed back the keys. It was a simple decision, one tiny moment. Then Bryce got into his car and drove away into the night. In the early hours of August 30th, 2013, Bryce told his parents he was leaving his college town to drive home. It was a long trip, around 7 to 8 hours, but they didn't panic. He'd done the drive safely before. Hours passed. No Bryce, no knock on the door. They checked his phone's activity, tracked his movements through their phone carrier. The trail led to a small, isolated town off Interstate 5, Buttonwillow. Bryce had stopped at a rest area near Buttonwillow, and he just stayed there for hours. His parents called a local roadside service station. A man named Christian agreed to go out and check on him. When Christian found Bryce, he was just sitting in his car, alive, calm, polite. He'd been sitting there for at least 9 hours, just staring. Christian let him speak to his parents. Bryce told them he was fine and would continue driving south. He bought gas with their help. Christian watched him get back on the freeway. Karen and Michael finally relaxed. Their son was on the road again, but the hours passed, and Bryce didn't show up. More frantic calls, more tracking, and somehow, he was still in Buttonwillow. For nearly 20 hours total, Bryce remained in that exact same area, looping in and out, sitting, waiting, completely frozen, as if something on that highway had him trapped. When his mother called again, she asked him directly, "Do you want me to come get you?" Bryce said no. He told her he had a lot to talk about when he got home. His voice was flat, detached. Sometime after 2 a.m., Bryce was last heard from near the area of Castaic Lake. He told his mother he was tired, but he kept driving into the darkness. By sunrise, Karen's anxiety was overwhelming. She tried calling again. No answer. Later that morning, the knock on the door came, but it wasn't Bryce, it was law enforcement. Bryce's Toyota Highlander had been found crashed off the side of Lake Hughes Road. It had plunged down a steep embankment and flipped completely onto its side. The back window had been shattered from the inside out. There was blood inside the vehicle, but no Bryce. His phone, laptop, and wallet were all left in the car. No signs of a struggle. It looked like he'd escaped, climbed out of the shattered window, and walked away. Search teams were immediately called in. K9 units, helicopters, divers, they scoured the lake and the rugged hills. At one point, bloodhounds tracked a scent from the crash site up a dirt path toward a nearby truck stop. Then, it completely vanished. No body, no confirmed sightings. It was as if Bryce had slipped into a crack in reality and disappeared. The theories are as relentless as the questions. Some believe Bryce died in the wilderness, his body never found in the rough terrain. Others suggest he may have suffered a severe mental breakdown, a psychotic episode triggered by alcohol and stimulants, and wandered off, losing his memory. There are darker fears. Did he take his own life somewhere out of sight? Or did he choose to disappear, staging the crash as a final break from his past life? His odd behavior paints the picture of a young man in deep, private turmoil, one who felt trapped inside his own mind. And then there's the terror only his parents know. Karen and Michael still live with an empty bedroom and an unfinished story. They replay every call, every "I'm fine," every "I'll talk to you when I get home." They cling to the possibility that their son is still out there, alive, confused, afraid to come back, or unable. What happened to Bryce Laspisa after he crawled out of that shattered SUV? Did he walk away from his life, or from his own pain? Until someone finds answers on that lonely stretch of road near Castaic Lake, all that remains is the image of a 19-year-old boy sitting in his car for 20 silent hours, staring into nothing, and then stepping into a darkness that has never given him back. If you want to help keep the memory of the missing alive, please hit the like button and subscribe to Vanish Archive. Every share brings us one step closer to the truth. What do you think happened to Bryce Laspisa on that lonely stretch of California road? Leave your theories in the comments below. Thank you for watching and stay vigilant. Until next time, the archive remains open.